Folks, Black Bull Markets have 10 merch packs to give away to clients who sign up before the end of the year, including one of these trader keys. So to go in the draw, all you need to do is sign up with the link below this video or in the podcast description, and you'll go in the draw to win. It's that simple. And remember, folks, when you sign up to Black Bull Markets through the Trading Nut link below, you're going to get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000 on your first deposit. All you need to do is click the link in the description below the video or the podcast.
Good day, folks. Let's go. Vitalis, Chickadilly. Let's go. I just got to share this comment because I think it's hilarious. That was from much before the stream started, but I think it's worth sharing. It's pretty funny. Hope everybody's doing well today. I'm going to get in here and get my charts going. Feel free to ask questions. Fahid, hey. All right, so these are my charts. These are my pairs and indices I trade. I've already come through and kind of looked at kind of did some of my basic analysis to see where I want to be trading. Right now, 5 minute here, USD CAD. I'm interested in a long. Just not sure how we'll get into it yet. Feeling like there's going to be a draw here, but then also up above this guy, the second target. So folks, let me know if you have any questions about charts or just in trading style or whatever. I like questions because they're just helpful for me to, helpful, sorry, wrote helpful. Let me know. Also, I like to hear if anyone else is in trades right now. It's cool to see what other people find. Charts are clean, Fahid. Oh, I can take this off now. Let's do that. There we go. That's a bit bigger. I've been trading for 3-4 years, something like that. Still, I would say I'm still in the inexperienced trader in terms of consistency. I'm still working on that. All right, so what I'll do is I'm going to go through each one of these a little bit bigger. Look through, maybe starting on the 1 hour. Yeah, that looks okay. So S&P, the New York midnight is par, right on even with the daily. Where is it? I gotta take that off. Okay, so daily fair value gap from 2022. So it came in right there. So today prices has come up, touched the top of that gap, and has pulled back a little bit. Um, okay, so I'm looking at, oh, I'm going to say this. I'm a little bit scared of anything too big on this. I think it's because it's sitting right at the highs of, it's got a potential to play at this weekly high. Long-term high. So there's a reason to reach up there, I'd say. But with the, sorry, I'm flipping around a lot because this daily level goes away when I go down to too small time frame. So I think it's going to have another reach, or has a possibility to reach up to that high. But then it also is respected the level of this fair value gap. So it's a little bit tricky. I don't know if I have a good decision on this one right here. It did just this morning. I was watching these old lows over here, looking for a push below, but it just did a little touch. So I'm not sold on either direction on this one at the moment. So I'm going to move on. NASDAQ, similar story, I believe. Here, let's see. Weekly. So weekly levels already been broken on NASDAQ. Dailies extended a little bit, I'd say. Like it's been moving up for quite a while. It's had a pretty good run. Doesn't mean it can't go up further, but this is kind of what I'm looking at. So 15-minute chart here. Just kind of did a, well, what I would call it, a liquidity rate here. This big candle down below a couple of these levels. This is 5-minute chart now. But I'm not going to say, I don't think it's enough to keep it from going lower. So you can see that all these relative lows here. This line I have drawn out gives a reason to look, for me to look for a short. So ideal entry short is going to be somewhere in this area, which could take a while to get to, or could be quick. There's some news coming out in 20 minutes. If it looks like I'm in a bathroom, it's because I'm in a bathroom. It's I'm still not at my house. If anyone's watched any of my streams in the last few weeks, I've been displaced from some water damage, and so I don't get to sit in my office right at the moment. But good news is the kitchen remodel is underway. I've been working on that every day, getting new cabinets put in and getting everything set to move back in as soon as possible. But right now we don't have a sink or stove to cook on. So, all right. This whole area up here is actually pretty good. It's another fair value gap here with the order block right in the middle of these two. So this this candle. Sorry, that was my gross. Getting over a cold. So, right, well, I'm gonna wait for it to come up towards this upper gap here. I'll set an alert there. Next, Euro USD. So what do we have here? This is daily fair value gap, the big pink one. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here. Let's go to hourly. You can see it originates back over here. I have it's kind of a bunch of junk on here. Hang on. So ultimately, I'm long on this one. I think getting out to even further out. This to me is liquidity up here. This old high, and this not quite there high, but I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get there. That's a little bit bigger of a level than I'm going to play off of. So looking at the 1 hour here, pullback has already come into this. This green zone is in a volume imbalance. You can see it, I think, on the 5:15. No, you can see on 15 right there. So big gap. Close up here, open down here. So it came up into there, reacted off of it, and it's come back down. So it's also leaving kind of a desire for more down here. So let me go back out to the 1 hour. I have this fib level on this big run right here. I think this liquidity is available up for grabs, but I think price may want to come down first, which would be great past this into this big fair value gap here. So that being said, I'm kind of looking for a reason to short down into new week opening gap, but also further down into that bigger fair value gap down below. So what that could look like is, let's see, like this here. So this fair value gap is just above these kind of this consolidation here and this high from earlier. That's a neat spot to be able to find an entry. So I'm going to set an alarm up there so I can see it come in. The reason I like those is because it's a place that price wants to reach for, and it's just after liquidity pools. So there's already this high that's taking out levels. This one failed. Prices moved down. And ideally, it'll pop up into that level. And the same thing is kind of happening on a smaller scale here. It's strip prices driven above this high into this gap. Pretty much respected it. It's got a couple pips over the top of the gap there. But you can see it's kind of just consolidating here. So maybe a consolidation and a pop up above into this gap. And if there's a reaction there where I can see a structure break to the downside, and I would look for that. Alexandra. Hello. Welcome. All right. So that's your USD. What's next here? USD JPY. Here's the hourly chart. Not. Let me wait to talk here. Eat my own words here. Yesterday's low to high here. Puts this consolidation right in the level that's acceptable for entry. But what I'd say about this is I don't want to put my stop all the way down here. So zooming in, what I would like to see before any sort of entry is a structure displacement structure, no, just displacement, price displacement to the upside. You can see I made my note already from earlier. So it's tapped into the kind of minimum viable pullback. That's kind of how I consider it from this big move. And so I just need to see maybe a raid and go. So it would come and pop down below this bottom of this box and then displace up, or I think it could do it from here as well. Like it doesn't need to probably go down in this case. So displacement, energy moving to the upside, and then look for location to enter there. So just waiting for that. Let's see what's going on here. Cat. Ooh, I'm tired, I guess. Okay, so I think I already talked about this one a little bit. That's kind of where I was this at first. Here's a daily chart for the UK. So pretty extended to the downside. But it did just have, yesterday was a breathing day, we'll call it, resting day. So it's just kind of approaching this daily fair value gap, the gray one highlighted here. It's a weekly order block level here. So there's a lot going on, but it's kind of consolidating. So there's not really, it's just kind of bouncing around here. So I won't be probably taking any trades on this one. Nothing super convincing, at least right now. If I get a raid on this consolidation, I'll just do it like this to start. The colors get so bad when they start overlapping, but whatever, just to illustrate. So if there's a raid and then a displacement to either side, I could be interested in that, but that's not something that's going to quickly form here. So is this kind of big level. I mentioned earlier I do like that opportunity when there's a fair value gap above liquidity, that kind of overlapping like this one is, or just above it. The tricky part about that is there's another version of it just above this level. So to me, that looks bullish, like it's gonna at some point soon want to go up there. I would just have to wait for an entry that allows me to do that. So that's going to be displacement, a rate of that displacement. But so I'm going to set an alarm down here. Look for that, the raid. So what I'd like to see, actually, let me, is there anything? I don't think there's anything back there for a while. Yeah, so it'd be raiding into just below here, digging deeper into the daily fair value gap level. Hello, ICT Indian. I do trade inspired by ICT. We'll call it that, because I wouldn't say I'm just not experienced enough to, definitely not to teach anyone, but it is the style I trade in. So just getting the two indices. Excuse me. Just getting into the areas I kind of was ready to watch. A little unsure. I'm West Coast US. I'm using essentially the 2022 mentorship strategy with just my touch on it here. I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry about that. The puppy bugging my sleeping son. So, all right. All right, so NASDAQ approaching this fair value gap that I had picked out from earlier. The thing that I'm not going to do is just jump in on the trade just because it enters into a fair value gap. That's not how I'm going to trade. Need to see the use of a fair value gap at a 5 or 15-minute level. And then zooming in for entry, I just look for the same thing to happen, but on a 1 minute, 1 or 2, usually 1. So what I mean by that is, as this approaches into this area, I'll look for a structure shift. So you can see the levels I have picked out. 1 minute chart now, I need to see movement into, but then break structure. So at this point, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm not gonna give my money to this market at the moment. But as just a way of demonstrating on the 1 minute chart, I would need to see this level be taken out with some energy. So it pushes down. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Like I said, I'm sharing this space with my whole family. So news is coming out here in just a moment. I think it's consumer confidence news, whatever that means. Question just came in. Not really certain if you mean like multiple pairs at the same time, or just like what I'm doing where I'm watching multiple markets and making a decision based on which one presents an opportunity. That can be good. I also, just last night, I was thinking, man, it'd be pretty nice to just only trade one pair, one market, and just know it really well. Like that sounds kind of cool. Which I think, can you stop? Hey, no. Puppies whining. So, yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you can handle, I guess. No. So, anyways, it's preference, but one thing I've noticed is I get pretty no, pretty I don't want to say over. Well, I get too excited. I try to look for too many trades, is what I'm trying to say. So my attention is divided, and then I'm left with a lot of trades, which is what my personality wants to do. But what I'm trying to learn right now is how to not take too many trades. I've only taken like 3 trades in the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks or something. Partially because I haven't been able to sit and watch charts like I normally do, but partially because I'm endeavoring to not take as many trades because they're not that good of setups. So you can see currently that fair value gap has been perfectly respected. I think it's not impossible that we will see this level touched as well. We'll see though what happens. So this is where a structure shift has to happen. I can't just get in because it's been, for me, I can't just get in because it's been touched in the fair value, like the fair value gap's been used. Like that's not enough for me. Need to see a raid on liquidity and a structure shift. So like this guy, this is actually looking potentially pretty good now that I look at it. So if I can get it down, there we go. Annoying. So there's a little, albeit little, raid from this level here, just peeked out over the top, but it's potentially displacing. That's the thing I'm watching here, is this displacement down below here. So if there's a move to make a new structure, which is going to be a displacement down here, which is a pretty decent move. So not just like a little like this level right here, just peeked below a couple of these little short-term lows in here. That's not what I want. I want to see like a boom, blam, down into here somewhere, and then look for an entry up above. That's kind of that's how I confirm the trade that I want to take. Otherwise, I get into too many trades. I do too many. I like trades, and so I take a lot if I'm not careful. It's a good goal. Become the best ICT trader in India. Yeah, I mean, the way that I look at it, if you're like a decent or fairly good ICT trader, you're going to be doing pretty good. That's what it looks like to me. There's a interview with a fellow that got to do the actual mentorship with him with ICT on TradeNet that just recently came out. That was really good. He's a guy that was a pharmacist, I think, or something like that, and spent a long time learning ICT stuff, and is doing pretty well for himself at this point. Just chill, bud. All right, so NASDAQ getting into this rateable fair value gap. So rateable meaning there's potentially liquidity resting above here, this high, and it's a fair value gap, and it's also New York midnight. So that's something I'm watching there. There definitely could be liquidity above these two highs here. That could be rated before going lower. But that's just my opinion. Something's pinging at me. Oh, it's this guy here, USD JPY. Okay, so getting a raid in there. You can't see the higher time frame drawing when I zoom in too much. It's a pretty big chunk of meat here that it can price can use up for shifting, so I'm not in a hurry here. Let's see if it'll show me on the 15. There we go. That at least gives me a view in there. Oh. All right. Well, that's been taken like I was waiting for. Excuse me. But it's a long ways off from having a structure shift. So come here. Oh, that's not working. I'm trying to show you to the folks. There you go. A puppy. Nope. Nope. He's an excited dude. All right, where was I? So this is 1 minute chart. Like displacement at this point is going to be below here. I'm just going to say that. because even with my rules, oftentimes I'll be like, oh yeah, that looks like displacement. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's like just a, I don't know. I just get too antsy to trade, and so I take bad trades. And just reading, if anyone's read the Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, it's got some pretty good stuff. But essentially, just he says something like there's everyday fools who just aren't gonna do any good, but then there's the kind of fools of Wall Street that feel like they have to trade every day and try to take home money every day. And is one of the lessons he was learning essentially is you don't have to just trade to trade. You trade when there's a reason to trade. So that's something I've been working on for sure. So essentially I'm looking for a convincing displacement, energetic displacement below some level. Excuse me. Is anyone that's tuned in right now, is anyone in a trade already? I like to see those if anyone has been posted. Ow, ow, ow. So, ICT Indian, what are you doing to become the best ICT trader in India? What does that look like? Alex is long, US 30. I'm not sure what SB is though, Alex. Sorry, it's an unfamiliar term to me. See. So this is the rate on your CAD, OD to C. This is my structure break level. Oh, silver bullet, cool. All right, well, ICT Indian, if you can feel free to answer that whenever you have a moment. Alex, for some reason I thought and I haven't, I only like briefly looked at the silver bullet video when it first came out, but so it's been a while, but I thought for some reason it was an afternoon thing, afternoon session. Maybe I missed something now. I just Priyansh Jain, USD JPY imbalance. There's bunches of them. I already have a plan for this one though, so I'm not gonna change it. Yeah, I guess I don't know what you're talking about. If you give me a level or a time frame or something that you'd like me to look at specifically in terms of an imbalance on USD JPY, I'll be take a look at that. Stay here, bud. What? Yeah, I must just not know about silver bullet. That's fine. I haven't spent any time on that. Okay, so this I'm gonna get an order ready for here. You see. All right, so just put a limit order in for sure on your USD. Entries at the blue line. Stop is at the red line. My basis is that there's this level here that was rated. Actually, zoom out a little bit. There you go. Level was rated. Displacing lower. Has a structure shift below this guy's value gap for entry. It's actually this little one up here too that I like. This little guy. All right, so we'll see if that gets back to that entry there. Waiting on displacement here to the upside. This guy just gave a little bit of a wick here. What's going on? Okay, that's good. Little raid there. So at this point, I'm looking just for some displacement, really. is a big part of trading here, sitting and waiting. Um, your USD is 1 minute right now. Okay, a zoomed in view to show it all. Excuse me. So the way my entry works is I use two separate entries, which gives just a lot easier way of doing trade management. So I have one that I'll exit first, usually around 1 hour, just as a protection method, just to pay the trader kind of thing. That makes the other half risk-free, essentially. So I'll just look at this to see where I would consider putting my big picture. This is the one. Yeah, okay, so this one, right now it's here. Depending on how if the entry even happens, that sort of thing, I would be actually looking down here probably. So that'd be like a price. Let's see. That's like 10 hours for that one. It would have to enter and then be pretty far down here by the end of the day. So I wouldn't risk any swap over, stop out stuff, which is always annoying. And I also have to be okay. Essentially, this is, no, let me go back to that 15-minute. It's certainly possible that this is too soon. This entry here, price may want to come and take out some of this up here as well, and that's kind of something I have to be okay with if that's how it shows me what's going on. But and look for another entry later on. USD JPY that breaks out up above this rectangle here. I don't need it that close. Might be interested in that if it gets out there. I'll be right back. All right, well, no entry at this point, which is, it's okay. It's still kind of a little 1 minute consolidation. Let's see what it looks like here. 5 minutes. So yeah, it's okay. It's just kind of confirming the displacement that I was looking at. It may change where the entry ends up or something like that, but for now it's okay. I think I'm going to be probably won't get an entry in during the stream today, but I'll be wrapping up here in a few minutes. So, any more questions or any more thoughts or criticisms, instructional how-tos, make me a better trader. I'm all about that. So, last few minutes here, go ahead and post anything that's constructive or anything like that. I'm going to leave this guy on the big chart. So we can watch. It's really the only one that's close enough to be excited about at this point. Move first target down. If it does pop back up into and give me an entry here, then I'll go down to the first pivot for that first exit. There is an untouched 5-minute fair value gap in here. It's kind of hot. It's kind of low. Part of it's at 50%. So I'm gonna leave my entry where it's at. Getting a little reach here. New territory here for the S&P. It's got a little ways to go, I think. Yeah, that white line is the weekly high, or like the long-term high, essentially. What are you doing, bud? You know where he is. So the thing that I'm trying to still work on is, you see this, I guess it depends on what happens next, but looks like it could be, getting ready for a long bear move or bull move. This big displacement up here. But then part of me also wonders, well, is it just rating liquidity before moving lower? I guess that's where you have to have an idea about the bigger picture, bias and stuff. Actually approaching entry here on this guy. I'm gonna hang out here on the stream for a little bit longer and see if this triggers in. I haven't had a trade on the live stream in many weeks, it seems like. So. Not that I need to, but just look at this again and see where I'm at. So that's it. Yeah, it's in terms of my 61 level here, entry level. It's right there. And this is where I get a little bit nervous. Am I making the right decision? Is it going to stop out? All right, here goes. Got it. See how that goes. All right. Well, I get just to be open about my psychology. I'm nervous and scared right now. I don't like this. It's got a lot of energy. But I gotta stick with my idea. I gotta wait it out and see. I have a plan. I stuck to it. And that doesn't mean I should give up. But dude, got some momentum. So I think my biggest concern right now is just my stop. Seems a little bit tight. A little bit too cozy in there. Right above that old high. So I may have to look for another entry as it comes up into this next level I picked out. It's looking looks like stop out to me. That's seems pretty sure at this point. But last week's trade, I only had one. There it goes. All right. Well, not ideal. But I will keep watching and look for another opportunity. If it presents itself. So there you have it. That's what happens in a tight stop loss world. So I'll look for another structure shift. To see if I can find another entry. All right. Well, with that, folks, I think I'm gonna skedaddle for the day. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate this opportunity, Cam. Trading that Blue Guardian. It's all good fun. Learning a lot. Growing, I think, as a trader. Have a good day, everybody.